Welcome back, Campcasso Art Box artists. I'm Mrs. Small. If this is your first project that you picked in your box, welcome. If you've already done a project with me from your box, welcome back. I hope you are well. Today we're going to work on our landscape sculpture. Okay? So what you need is you need to get the bag from your box that looks like this. So go ahead and take that bag out and rest it right on your tabletop. The next thing you need from your box are your paintbrushes, a bowl of water, some paper towels. Go ahead and set up your creating space so you have everything laid out in front of you. In your bag, you also should have some little pods of paint. You do have a strip of paint that is for your canvas painting. If you've already done your canvas painting and you want to use some of those other pods of paint you have, go for it. And some of us have a whole art supply section in our houses, maybe in your playroom or your bedroom. If you have other craft paints that you want to take out, you can certainly use those too. So I have my little pods right here, but I actually scooped up my pods and I put them on a paper plate to use as a palette. So if you have a paper plate, a piece of cardboard, or another surface that you can go ahead and put some paint on top of, that might be easier to do your painting. If you prefer working out of the pods, definitely do it that way. You're the artist, I'm the artist, and we're here working side by side together. How I set up my space is one way to set it up. Maybe you have a different way to set up your space. That's okay with me. All right, are we ready? Give your hands a little shake. Stretch out those fingers. Come give me a high five. Good job. Let me see your smiling faces. Beautiful. Deep breath in and out. Deep breath in and out. Maybe this is the very first thing you're doing to start your day. Maybe it's time to get ready for lunch. Maybe it's at the end of the day and you've had a full, sunny, warm summer day of swimming and playing. Whatever adventures you've had today, I'm glad you're right here with me. Remember, take deep breath in and out. I'm going to remind you during our video and during our class that you can pause me at any time you want. I'll always be right back here in the studio, ready to create again with you. Okay, let's go ahead and open up those bags. You guys will notice the top of the bag is a sticker. So you just have to peel it off, okay? And then go ahead and dig into that bag. And I want you to take out your wooden square, your wooden tree. You see that tree? And there's a little base for the tree. It looks like this. You need that. The other things that are in your bag, the glue, the clay, the little bag of rocks and moss, you can save these in the bag if you want. I'm not gonna take mine out yet because I'm gonna focus on painting first. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the rest of my supplies off to the side on my table, okay? Let's take that tree in our hand and you're gonna take that bottom piece and that bottom piece connects right into the base of the tree. So now you have 4 roots. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, you have your wooden base here. If you have a hot glue gun at home and you have a grown-up to help you and you're allowed to use the hot glue gun, at the end or before, you could take your tree and hot glue it onto your wooden surface, or you can wait till we're all done, okay? You can also just use some white school glue too. but I'm gonna leave mine separate for right now. But know that that is an option that you can do. All of my creating today is inspiration to help you create. You might have a different idea though, and that's okay. You don't have to make your sculpture exactly like mine. Mine is just one way, okay? All right, I'm gonna put my tree off to the side because I am going to start with the wooden square first. And I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna grab my paint that is on my paper plate. I'm gonna take my blue medium-sized brush. You have two brushes. Your little one for details. And then your medium size. I'm gonna go ahead and give my paintbrush a little dunk in the water. Here's my water, it's hiding behind my tree. I'll move that tree out of the way. There's my water. I'm gonna give it a little dip in the water. Tap, tap, tap. And I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna pick my brown shade. We all should have a shade of brown. And I'm gonna go ahead and start to create some dirt on my earth. And I'm gonna go up and down in a rough texture. So this is my first layer of paint, artists. Notice how my brush is going up and down. Tap, 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 tap. All right, I'm starting to run out of brown paint. There should be a lighter brown or a tan in your bag of paint. I'm gonna go ahead and give my paintbrush a little wash, little bath, a little dry, and then I'm gonna go ahead, I need like an extra set of hands. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna grab that light, see that lighter brown? I'm gonna get that lighter brown on my paintbrush. And notice I put it on both sides of my brush. And I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna start to tap and layer on some light brown. So I'm gonna trade back and forth between dark brown and light brown. Tap, 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 tap. Ooh, good job. All right, I'm ready to go back to dark brown. So I need to take that paintbrush and it needs to go into my water for a bath. Wash, 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 wash. And dry, 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 dry. Good job. Back to my dark brown. So right now I'm just creating this layering effect. I'm not doing anything exciting yet. I'm just getting my piece of wood ready. I'm laying down the dirt. Imagine that. Imagine you are a farmer and you're getting ready to plant grass and seed, maybe some trees. Tap, 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 tap. Back to light brown. Wash and dry. Here comes the light brown. All right. Kind of made a little bit of a pattern. And you guys are probably noticing it's not perfect. Okay? That's okay. It's just my first layer. It's kind of rough. A little bit like a sketch. I'm just getting my space ready. Laying down my soil. Okay, this is done for now. I'm gonna put this off to the side, let it dry. Bye-bye. All right, tree time. I've got brown on my brush, easy peasy. So I'm going to work on the roots of my tree. I'm gonna go ahead and scoop up some of that light brown since I had some already on my brush. Maybe you have dark brown. Maybe you wanna wash your brush off. I'm gonna go ahead and start to paint the roots of my tree. Now, if it's easier to take it apart, you can take it apart. I'm gonna hold my tree up here by the leaves. All right, you decide what works best for you. Maybe it's similar to what I'm doing. Maybe it's different. That's all right. All right, I'm just going along and starting to give my tree, my roots, some brown. I'm gonna go ahead and switch to the dark brown. So I'm going to wash my paintbrush out. Tap, 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 tap. And scoop up some brown, the dark one. And go ahead and start layering on some dark brown. So I've got some light, I've got some dark. Okay. And I'm smoothing this paint out. I'm being a little bit more focused on the roots of the tree than I was with the earth, because I do need the roots to be solid, bold colors. I don't want them to be as rough. All right, going along. I've got almost all 4 of my roots completed. Oop, I need to do that one. If you notice, I haven't even gone up the trunk yet. Taking my time. I have nowhere to be except right here to create. Right here alongside with you. So take your time. All right. I'm happy with the way this is starting to look. Oh my goodness, I found another side that I missed. Yikes, good thing I turned it around and I looked. I wasn't done with the roots yet. No way, Mrs. Small, you're still going. All right, let me do a look around. How is it looking? Ooh, I like it. I like seeing the different shades too. Love it. Okay, I'm gonna go up to my trunk and to my branches. If I get some brown on the little leaves, that's okay. Let's not like get all freaked out. Wow, I got brown on the leaves. That's ridiculous. Take a deep breath. Slow yourself down. This is not a rush. Slow and steady. So for the next few minutes, let's work nice and slow, nice and steady. You can mix and play with those different shades of brown. Maybe you see a different color that you want to work with. That's okay. Maybe you have a little extra white paint left over from your canvas painting and you want to create a different shade using white. Go for it. Push and pull that paint all the way up your tall tree. Don't hold your breath. Deep breath. Calm yourself down. Painting can feel very peaceful sometimes. All day long, we get very busy. Human beings are always busy. We're running, we're walking, we're thinking, we're learning, we're doing, we're practicing, we're making mistakes, we're fixing our mistakes, we're helping, we're feeling different things. Let your art time be a time that's just quiet for you. There's no grade here. There's no one way to do this. There's lots of ways. Lots of ways to hold your paintbrush. Find a stillness in your mind. Good job, you guys. I'm proud of you. Slow and steady. Big brush strokes, little brush strokes. Can you notice the sounds that are around you? Do you hear other people's voices? Do you hear cars driving by? What is the day like outside? Notice your surroundings, be aware of them. I think I've said this in all of my Campcasso Art Box classes so far, is that I like to create standing up. this is an easier place for me to be. Holding my sculpture, standing up at my table, my paint in front of me, my water close by. If you feel comfortable sitting, definitely sit. But if you're like me and you want to stand up and you need to move back and forth, that's okay. That's how I learn. I learn by moving. How do you learn? Okay. I'm happy. I'm gonna put this off to the side again. Let it dry, okay? All right, let's give this paintbrush a wash. This is a good time to pause me if you're still painting with your brown on your tree or planting your soil. Maybe you don't plant soil, I guess you lay soil down, right? So if you're still working in those brown colors, go ahead and pause me. I'll be here when you're ready to move on to your next thing, okay? All right, I'm going back to my earth right now. I'm gonna let my tree dry. I'm going back to my earth. My earth is pretty dry now. A little wet, but pretty dry. Okay, everybody should have some green in their bag, a little pod of green. There's my little pod, and there's my green on my paper plate. I'm gonna go ahead and start to plant some grass in my landscape. And this is where I'm gonna start to use my imagination a little bit. I wanna decide where my grass is gonna be. So I actually think I'm gonna plant my grass on top of the light part, and I'm gonna leave my dark brown. That's gonna become something else. I might create a little pathway in my landscape in a few minutes. So I'm gonna start on the light brown. Why don't you decide where your grass is going to go? And I'm gonna use a small brush stroke, and I'm covering right on top of that light brown. My light brown is starting to disappear. I don't need to cover the whole light brown, but I'm kind of liking this bold green and how it is lying on top of this piece of wood really nicely. Smoothing it out. I'm using my paintbrush artist, and I'm going in one direction, using the flat side of the brush, and I'm pulling it down. I want you to notice with your eyes, I want you to notice how many times I dip my paintbrush in my paint. I'm not using a lot of paint. A little bit of paint goes a long way. You could always go back and get more, okay? All right, I like this little patch of grass. I'm gonna leave this area open. I'm gonna go over here now. I'm just kind of sprinkling my grass on. I'm gonna make this into like a little bit of an island shape on my earth. Overlapping right on top of those browns. That brown is kind of disappearing, which is fine. I'm gonna come along the dark path a little bit. Ooh, I actually like how I can start to see some of this brown coming up. Almost looks like a little bit of moss. Has anybody been on any, getting tongue twisted, nature hikes this summer? I like exploring for different like textures in nature, rocks, twigs, crunchy leaves. I love moss. I'm gonna go up here and add some green up here. So I just kind of spied something on my paper plate, and it gave me an idea. Even though I'm working in my green right now, my brain is kind of always thinking as I'm painting. All these different shades I have. I'm thinking about this blue. I'm thinking a little bit of a river. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do a river. So I'm gonna take my brush, I'm gonna clean it out. Even though green is nice, we might incorporate a little bit of green into our river. Now, once again, I'm going to remind you, you do not need to do what I do. You do not need to make a river, okay? It's up to you. All right, so I'm gonna grab a little bit of blue, And I think over here, I gotta think about this for a second. You know what? I gotta look back at my tree for a minute. I think my tree is going to live right here. So I think I'm gonna create a little river down here by my thumb. Okay? All right, so I'm moving myself around a little bit, scooping up some blue paint. I'm just gonna create a little river. Maybe it's just the outline of the water coming up. Oh, maybe this is actually like a little pond. I think in your bag you have some little baby ducks. Maybe those baby ducks will live in this little pond. Oh, I love the look of that right now, artists. I'm keeping it really smooth. Oh, I love that. I'm good. I'm happy with that now. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and put my earth down. I'm gonna go back to it. I'm gonna go to my tree now. I'm gonna keep some blue on my paintbrush. And I'm gonna put some blue kind of on the side. I'm gonna mix a new color. I'll wash my brush out. Get that blue off. Get my paper towel. Dry that off. You guys are working great. Okay, I'm gonna go to my green right here. I'm gonna scoop up a little bit of green and I'm gonna go ahead and mix this into my blue. Let's see if I can make a different shade. Yes, I did. Let's scoop up a tiny bit more blue. Mix that in there. Oh yeah, it's becoming a little bit of a teal. I like this. This is gonna become my leaf color for my tree. Okay. So my tree, my roots are pretty dry, so I'm gonna kind of move my hand down here. My hand is probably gonna get a little painted. Okay, wash it at the end, don't worry about it now. And I'm gonna go through with my teal that I just made and I'm gonna start to paint in my leaves. My little leaves on this tree. I could move to my little brush if I wanted to right now, but I like this size paintbrush. I have a good control of it. This is actually my favorite style of a paintbrush. I like a flat paintbrush. I don't really like a rounded paintbrush personally. Maybe you have your favorite painting tool. Every artist has the supply that they really love, or this type of paint they love. That's why when you're at Campcasso, when you're at one of the studios, we try to give you lots of different supplies and materials to try and experience. So as you get older and you keep creating more and more art, you really start to figure out what you like. You know, guys, art is something you can do your entire life. I've been painting and drawing ever since I was a little girl. And look, now I'm a grown-up. Now I'm a mommy. And I grew up to be an art teacher. I grew up to open up an art studio and help teach other teachers. So you never know. Art can always be with you. My tree's coming along. All right, my loves, if you need a break, go ahead and pause me. Maybe you need to clean out your water. Maybe you need a little snack. That's totally cool. Go ahead and take a pause. I promise when you hit play, it's gonna be me again. All right, I'm feeling good with my tree so far. I'm gonna tap in on my branches a little bit and give little touches of green. Boom! Upside. Art can be loud sometimes. It can be socializing a lot, talking, moving. Where art can be very, very quiet. Don't think about what you have to do next. Think about what you're doing right this second. What is your focus? You need to check the box of finishing these leaves. That's your focus right now. Once you finish those leaves, you've accomplished that. You can check that box and be done with it. And if you're not happy with something, you can always go back to it. Okay? Push and pull that paint, each little leaf. Whoop, I'm almost done. I'm gonna have a little sip of my tea. Do you have a little drink next to you? I said this on a different video. I don't know which video it was, you guys, but I said, if you're drinking a little drink next to you, don't put your paintbrush in your drink. True story. I did that once when I was painting. I was so focused on what I was doing. I was like, la 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 la, just painting, enjoying myself. And I went, whoop. And I was like, oh no, that's my cup of tea. Yeah, don't make that mistake. I mean, if you do make that mistake, whatever. I'm still standing, right? Yeah. But I just was like, ugh, gross. Painted tea. All right. Love it. Done. Bravo. I'm going to go ahead and put my tree down. So this ends my painting. I am done with painting. You may still be painting. Totally cool. Pause. Are you still painting? Pause it. Okay, if you're done painting, time to clean up. Let's take care of our supplies. Wash your brush. Take your paper towel, clean it off. Don't leave paint in that top of that brush. It will ruin your brush. My brushes are going away now. I'm going to save these for something else. Okay? My paint pots, they're closed up. I've got plenty of paint left. I'm going to save those. If I had a paper plate that I was working on, I could save this paper plate actually. I still have plenty of room. Okay? Or if it's going to go into the garbage, off to the garbage you go. You don't leave your garbage alone on the table. You're in charge. You're the artist. Mom and Dad didn't paint today. You painted, right? True, I painted. Miss Emily didn't paint. Miss Emily's not going to clean up my plate. I'm going to clean up my plate. Okay? So off to the garbage you go. Dirty water. Ooh. Go to the bathroom. Go to the kitchen. Wherever you're allowed to dump this water out. Dump it. Wash out your bowl. Put it off to the side. Okay? You don't need any more water. I had an extra paper towel I didn't use. I'm going to save it for another project. Okay. The part we've all been waiting for. We've done the hard work of painting. Now it's time to dig into that bag. Okay? Are you ready? Get those final wiggles out. Stretch it out a little bit. Shake it off. You worked hard with your painting. Yes! The best part. Ooh. Everybody should have a green dough. Everybody should have a blue dough. 2 glue pens. What colors did you get? I got my favorite color, pink. And I told you I love moss, so of course I'm gonna put moss in the bag. Moss. Okay, so this is important. The camera's gonna get wiggly for a second because I wanna show you the table, but I gotta move the camera. So what I'm gonna do right now, you guys, I'll move this down so you can see my table because I want you to stay organized. I'm going to go ahead, actually I'm gonna use my extra paper towel and I'm gonna put my moss on top of my paper towel. I'm gonna get my glue ready. Now, this kind of glue, when you're taking off the top, you guys, be careful when you spin it off because you might spin off the clear cap and you need the clear cap on. Okay, I'm gonna put this off to the side. So I'm prepping my area. I'm getting myself ready to create. Okay. Woo! My little trinket bag. I can't wait to open you. Okay, this is a twist tie, guys. You need to use those fingers. If I can do it, you can do it. If you need help, ask for help. I can't jump through the TV or the computer and help you. You need to ask for help though, okay? It's just a twist tie. Save that off to the side. Open your little bag. Ooh, so many goodies. Flowers, leaves. Ooh, I'm setting them up on my paper towel so I can see. Little pine cone is in there. Now each bag might be a tiny bit different, but they're basically the same. All right, I'm gonna sit for a second because I'm arching over to get on this table to show you everything. Okay, here's my little clay off to the side. There's a ton of little things in my bag, so I'm gonna leave the little things in the bag, okay? All right. So you see how I have my table, move the paints out of the way. I'm pretty organized over here. I have everything that I need to see, okay? Everybody good with their table set up? Thumbs up, thumbs up. Perfect. Okay, I'm gonna move my camera back up. Ooh, okay. Because remember I told you I like to stand, all right? Okay, so, oh my goodness, where do I start? I'm gonna start by gluing my tree down. So I'm gonna carefully take my tree and I'm gonna take my glitter glue and I'm gonna put it on the edge of my tree roots. I'm gonna put a nice thick coat all the way around. Now this glitter glue is going to take 24 hours to dry. So once I put it down on my earth, I am not touching it. Leave it. Whoa, roll away glue. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Secure, not touching it. Let me carefully show you. There is my tree I just planted. Okay. What am I doing next? I want to do the clay. I'm gonna go ahead and open up my clay. Now, the great thing is, guys, is you might not need all this clay. If you don't need all this clay, get a little Ziploc bag to put it in so you can use it for another project. Like, I don't think I'm gonna use all this today. So I can use that for something else later. Okay, I am gonna create some little like mounds of earthy grass under my tree. I'm gonna use a little bit of the glitter glue. I kind of made this little like flat pancake shape. I'm gonna put a little squeeze of glitter glue. This is where the creating really starts to be your choice, okay? So I'm kind of just pressing down the texture to create some little earth, little green grass underneath this tree. And oh, I just got an idea because I saw a mushroom, a tiniest, cutest little toadstool in my bag. I am going to put a little glitter glue, one little squeeze. See, not a lot, just a dot. I'm gonna stick that in my little grass area. Oh my goodness, this is adorable. A little gnome could live in that toadstool. Okay, I'm gonna go along. I think I'm gonna roll this and make like a little pathway with this green. So I'm rolling it out into this like snaky shape. And I'm still just kind of using this one tube of glitter glue. And once again, I'm not using a ton, you guys. All right, and I'm gonna kind of mold this down for my pathway and forming it. Now, the great thing about these Campcasso art boxes is that all of our projects are gonna be a little bit different. They're all gonna be unique to us and to what is in our imagination. So what would be so awesome, you guys, is if your grown-ups can take a picture of your creation and send it to us or post it and tag us so we can see what you made. Because I guarantee, like, once we start seeing these pictures, everybody's gonna be like, oh, you did that? That's such a cool idea. Wow. Like, I could do that, something like that too. And then you start giving people inspiration. Ideas are meant to be shared. Artwork is meant to be shared. Sometimes we do art that maybe we don't share with people, but really the point of creating art, I feel, is to share it, to tell a story. I'm loving the clay. Who doesn't love this clay, right? It's super fun to play with. All right, so let's keep going and exploring. Remember, if you don't use all this clay, please get a Ziploc bag. I'm gonna add some of this blue to my water element. And I'm just gonna press it onto my wood, using my fingertips to kind of mold it. Press into it. I'm gonna bring it right up to that green grass. See how I'm using my thumb to smooth it down? I love this clay. This is great. Grown-ups, this clay is simple. You can get this on our Campcasso Art Studio Amazon shop. If you can't find us on Amazon, just let me or Miss Emily know. But there is a Campcasso Amazon shop, and you can buy some of these supplies, but we use this clay all the time. It's awesome. We don't want to break the bake, right? Okay, I'm done with my clay. I'm gonna go into some moss, because I told you I love moss. I want some moss under my tree. So I'm gonna take some glitter glue and add a little blob, and go ahead and take my little moss. And I'm just gonna go along and start adding all these little details to my little world. Maybe I wanna take the little flower, and I'm gonna actually take the flower and press it into my dough. See how it's kind of standing up a little bit? And I have rocks in here, I have gems. I love these clear ones. These would be great in the little ocean or the little pond we've created. Oh yeah, I like that. I'm gonna put a little duck in the pond too. Anybody use their duck yet? Oh my gosh, what are the chances I got a pink one? Ah, score. Score. I didn't plan that, just so you know. Oh my goodness, a frog. Well, I'm gonna hide the frog kind of in between. Where do I want the frog to go? I'm gonna put the frog on the land, actually. He's gonna hide underneath the flower a little bit. It's like a little I Spy. Oh, look at my baby duck. So cute. All right, my friends. This was a fun one today. I like the building, right? I like the painting, I like the drawing, but there's something magical about playing with different textures and exploring all these little treasures. All right, keep on creating. Have an awesome rest of your day. I hope summer is treating you very well. Enjoy. I'll see you guys again soon.